The keto diet. Very, very controversial stuff. Some people say it's incredible. It's the best thing ever for weight loss. It's the best thing for brain health. It's the best thing for athletic performance. And there's other people saying, wait a minute, hold on, not so fast. There's actually a whole bunch of research that suggests maybe those things are not quite true. There are, in my opinion, many, many people in this field who misrepresent the science, who cherry pick the science to support their particular dietary dogmas and belief systems or their financial agendas. One of the people who I respect the most, maybe the most of anybody in this field as a low-carb keto expert, is Luis Villaseñor. And I had him on the podcast to discuss. It was a wonderful episode. I highly recommend listening to the full-length episode. The link for that is down in the description below. But here's a wonderful little piece of that provides some excellent value. So listen to this little clip and also check out the full-length podcast. Enjoy.
Yeah. Okay. So having said all of that, what do you think are some of the biggest mistakes that people make when going on a keto or low carb diet?
So first is eating more processed food, or in a way trying to game the system by just focusing on the macros and mostly on the fat. There are a lot of people that think that keto is just don't eat carbs. So they do this approach that I usually called lazy keto, which means just count carbs and don't count anything else. Okay, that can work up to a point if you're in a way sensitive to your appetite. But sadly, what happens to a lot of people that were overweight, and I'm including myself here, is that we have lost in a way the sensibilization to hormones, leptin, the feeling of being full, and we have a lot of conflicting signals. We really don't know if we're thirsty or we're hungry, if we're anxious or we're hungry, and things like that. So we just end up switching one food for the other. And what I like to tell our clients is it's about changing habit, not just ingredients. Because they end up, and let's say that before they had a Reese's Pieces, right? And now they have the same Reese's Pieces, but it's a fat bomb. So they took the sugar away, but they add even more calories to it by adding extra fat and taking away, maybe if had a little bit of protein, they take it away. Or for real, I see a lot of people, because they're stuck in these eat all the fat or add more fat. We all know the classic bulletproof coffee example, right? But I've seen people actually put half a stick of butter into coffee, and that's what they're drinking because they think that they need more fat, because one of the sayings is eat fat to burn fat.
Right.
And it doesn't work like that. Yeah, at the beginning, some people may help do the transition so they're not really hungry, and again, because they increase ketones and that those have the anorexogenic properties, but it doesn't mean that you actually need to eat more fat, right?
And it's a great point. I also, which brings up this semantic problem with the phrase burn fat. So, and this relates to the last thing we were talking about a minute ago with the idea that it's possible to be on a low carb diet where insulin levels are low and you are burning fat, your cells are using fat for fuel, and yet you can still be gaining body fat. So can you just spell that out for people, the distinction between burning fat versus actually losing body fat?
Yeah, totally. It's like, I think that a very easy way to understand or to explain it is our bodies in a way are like a Tesla, in the sense that we have both, we can use electricity for, just putting an example, and gas, right? Let's say that gas is carbs, or are the carbs, and then electricity are the ketones and the fat. What happens if we start, or the purpose of keto is that you want to empty your battery, your electricity tank, because it's full of fat or electricity, right? Our purpose is we carry an excess of it. We want to empty the cells. Perfect, okay. So normally our body uses both the gas and the electricity. I'm going to empty first the electricity tank to a point, sorry, the gas tank or the carbs tank to a point, so that my body can use more efficiently, or primarily, the electricity, also known as a fat tank, right? But what happens if every 5 kilometers, I go and recharge the fat tank or the electricity tank. I'm going to be burning fat, of course, or electricity, going by this example, but I keep filling it in. So there's no way I'm going to empty it ever.
Hey, this is Ari. I hope you enjoyed this video. And one more thing before you go. Actually, two more things. One is, if you enjoyed this particular little clip, the link to the full-length podcast is in the description down below. So make sure to check that out. Also, one more thing. Let me ask you a question. What if I could show you how to double your energy levels and dramatically improve your brain function, reducing your anxiety and depression to a degree on par with antidepressant drugs, but without the side effects? Sound pretty interesting? Well, there are, in fact, numerous compounds that can do this, that have been shown to do this. And I'll take you through just a few of these very briefly. One of them is Rhodiola Rosea. And this has been shown in studies, Rhodiola Rosea extract, in people with stress-related fatigue and exhaustion to cut their levels of fatigue and brain fog in half in less than a month. Just this one compound. There's another compound in my formula Energenesis called NT factor phospholipids that's been shown to help repair mitochondrial membranes and mitochondrial health to the level of healthy 29-year-olds, taking people with deteriorated mitochondria who are over the age of 65, restoring it to the level of healthy 29-year-olds. And that has been shown in numerous studies in various types of chronic fatigue, aging-associated chronic fatigue, obesity-related chronic fatigue syndrome, to increase energy levels by 30 to 45% in the span of 4 to 12 weeks, depending on the specific study. So dramatic improvements in a very, very short period of time. Two more compounds that are amazing, I highly recommend, that are in my formula Ultra Brain, along with Rhodiola Rosea. Saffron extract. This has been shown to increase levels of, improve your mood, I should say, and decrease levels of depression on par with fluoxetine, which is Prozac. And not only that, but with fewer side effects. It's much safer and much less likely to cause negative effects than antidepressant drugs are. Acetyl L-carnitine is another compound that's been shown to dramatically improve brain health in older adults. It also improve energy levels in older adults with chronic fatigue by between 40 to 50% in just the span of 2 to 4 months. And the last thing I'll mention here is acetyl L-carnitine has also been compared to antidepressant drugs and been shown, like saffron, to be as effective as antidepressant drugs in combating depression, but without the harmful side effects that so often occur with the drugs. So this is just a small sampling of the over 35 compounds that are in my formulas Energenesis and Ultra Brain that are all proven to dramatically improve energy levels, mitochondrial health, and brain health, and much, much more. And I highly recommend that you go check these out. If you're struggling with depression or anxiety or brain fog, if you're struggling with stress-related exhaustion and burnout, if you're struggling with chronic fatigue, go check out these formulas, give them a shot. I promise you are going to be blown away by the results. And like I said, the science has already proven that these things work. So you don't have to just take my word for it. There's lots of research to support that. And I'll even link to some of that research down below so you can verify everything that I just said for yourself. So the links to those studies will be in the description for this video down below. So check them out. Check out the formulas on theenergyblueprint.com. Again, Energenesis is the mitochondrial formula, and Ultra Brain is our brain formula. Check them out, try them out, and I think you're going to be blown away by the results. Thanks so much, and I'll talk to you again soon.